But yeah, the Abramovich-Chelsea marriage, it will soon be officially over. It's getting real. It's getting very real, man. And we're now at a stage where, as I sort of predicted in the video that I did a few days ago, sorry, my that's a bit crazy. The video that I did a few days ago, that you might see a situation where Abramovich may have to sell the club, and that is right now the place where we will now be heading, of where your boy Abramovich will have to now sell this club. It's real. We're here, and it's going to be very hard to pretty much deny where we're at. But let's just do a little bit of reading here, just to have a little of a background of where we're at right now with this. So shout out to your boy Matt Law, who is obviously a Chelsea correspondent, man. So this is from the Telegraph. So Roman Abramovich will receive bids to sell Chelsea this week. Bids to sell Chelsea this week, with at least 3 parties circling the Stamford Bridge club. So I don't know who those 3 parties are, but according to Matt Law, there are already so this is a lot further than we had before. So there are already people, 3 parties who are now interested in saying what's up to try to buy Chelsea. Offers are being prepared to reach Abramovich by the end of the week, with the threat of sanctions hanging over Chelsea owner, who has faced calls to have his assets frozen and seized following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So Chelsea previously insisted the club is not for sale, but the mood from the outside at least is changing, and there is a feeling that Abramovich could be left with no other option, with his resolve to hang on to the club to be tested. With his resolve, hanging on to the club to be tested. So again, there be claims that Abramovich is preparing to sell his mansion in Kensington Palace Gardens. So look, these are all going towards the idea that it's been frozen out. It's been frozen out by England, and England, like Europe, and so forth. But for context of this discussion, with England in particular, like, bro, it's Europe against Russia. Keep trying to remind people, this is Europe against Russia. It's Europe against Russia, and Europe are doing everything in their power to say what's up and ensure that it is pretty much not to any Russian person's interest, especially Russian people who are linked in with Putin to do any business here in Thingy. So, one big potential hurdle to the sale of Chelsea would be if Abramovich is sanctioned before the end of the week, as interested parties will then have to wait for clarity over whether or not they could trade with the 55-year-old or his associates. So again, time is of the essence, man, but we're getting closer. Now, this is key. Abramovich has previously turned down offers worth $2.2 billion for Chelsea previously, while the club's debt to him is $1.5 billion, which you'd almost expect to be covered. Now, guys, look. If you owed me $100, if you owed me $10 or £10 or €10, I want that back. I want that back. If you owe me £50 or $50 or €50, I want that back. If you owe me 1.5 billion, the freaking kid, I think I'd like that back. I think I'd like that back, personally speaking. So we move on. Bidders have been emboldened by Abramovich's move to try to hand the day-to-day running of Chelsea to the board of trustees of the club's charitable foundation. Chelsea intended that they change. Okay, boom, boom, boom. So yeah, look. So that's just all the stuff about Tuchel, But here, this is important. As reported by Telegraph Sports, Abramovich's handover plan to the group of 6 trustees is already in danger of descending into chaos, with individuals considering quitting and the Charity Commission launching an inquiry. So Chelsea are already braced for the fact that trustees may need to be replaced although the plan may need a complete rethink, with more talks taking place this week. Trustees are believed to want the inclusion of an indemnity insurance policy to ensure that they're not liable for any financial ramifications the club may suffer while they're in charge. So again, this is all legal stuff, man. So based off just what Abramovich is involved with, his sanctions, those guys that are taking over, they were like, okay, can we just have a bit of assurances that, we don't face any kind of legal hurdles if we do take over. So as of right now, like that handover to the trustees and the charitable foundation, that hasn't even gone through now because they have questions. So look, as I said on my previous video, the marriage between Abramovich and Chelsea, it's over. It's over. Like, let's get it, it's over. It's finished. Like, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Like, that isn't happening anymore. Because Russia is going to take over Ukraine, and what we're going to see is a war between Europe and Russia. Now, we hope that it doesn't get into a nuclear war, but it could descend into a nuclear war. Hopefully, touch wood, it doesn't descend there. But what we're already seeing and what we will see over the next few months is a financial war, a war of sanctions, perhaps even cyber warfare. So what we're going to do is Europe are going to do everything in their power to cut off anything Russian, specifically anything Russian connected to Putin specifically. But I think it will go into anything Russian is going to be cut off in Europe, whether that's entertainment, business, or for this thing, football. And England, Premier League is one of England's biggest assets globally, one of the biggest brands globally. And they say, no, the English Premier League cannot be associated with anybody who's connected to Putin. Abramovich and Putin are linked, they can't be connected. So look, man, I mean, because me and my brother were having this discussion, because my brother was like, nah, like this Putin guy, this Abramovich guy, this guy is linked into Putin. And this guy should be fully condemned, and he is fully culpable and involved with what Putin is doing. And I was like to my brother's like, look, is there any hard evidence that his money was linked into him to Putin attacking Ukraine? Now, he's going to have peace talks. It's not going to do anything. Putin ain't going to listen to freaking Abramovich. But he's trying to have peace talks here. So I don't know the details to his relationship with Putin. I just don't. But if it's proven that his money and his funds are leading to this war, oh, bro, screw him. Of course, screw him, bro. Fishnet sport is cool. Life is key. Now, be very clear. I don't give a damn about some blonde, white, blue-eyed person, because I don't care about a blonde, blue-eyed, white person over a brown person, black person, Fighting person, and so forth. I'm here for peace. So Ukraine is more important than what's happening in Yemen, Syria, or so forth. I'm for peace. The whole. I'm not peace dude. So if Abramovich's funds or so forth is stopping peace, and it's helping to perhaps lead into a world war that will now affect all of us, bro, cut him off and put pressure upon him, distance him. So that's where I'm at there. But we know how he got his money. As in, we all were like, okay, yeah, see no evil, hear no evil, but follow the Soviet Union and so forth. Guys got paid, and we know how Abramovich got his money. We know. And all this stuff is now really coming to light right now. So, as I said it again, look, it's like, guys, this is our passions. They give us soft, but we're not talking real life stuff. We're talking like big stuff now. And my hope is that if Abramovich does have to sell Chelsea, the guy that does buy Chelsea, please let it be a guy that likes Chelsea, can invest in Chelsea, and please let's not be like one of these Americans like a Kroenke and so forth who have no interest in football. Because my hope is, if it could be, basically my vote would be for Dangote, but I think Dangote is a Arsenal fan, because Dangote, he's the richest man in Africa. I think he deals in cement and so forth. So, and he's a Nigerian. So, I would love for him to be the owner, because I know that this is a guy who would really invest, because Nigerians love football and everything. So, but I don't know how likely that will happen. So that's just the likelihood. But yeah, this is over. It's over because over the next few months, we're going to see a war between Europe and Russia. Russia will do everything to cut off anything European. Europe will do everything in their power to cut off everything Russian. So I knew we were going to end here. So it was not a matter of if Abramovich is going to sell Chelsea. It was always a matter of when is he going to sell Chelsea, because we're going to see everything Russian, specifically anything Russian linked into Putin and the regime, is going to be completely cut off by every single European nation. So it's what's going to happen. So that's where we're at right now, man. So yeah, man, it began in 2003, but yeah, the Abramovich-Chelsea marriage, it will soon be officially over. Like the video, subscribe, comment below. Let me hear what you guys think. One love.